today she's going to present on training motor skills and coordination in 6 and 9-year-olds. So please join me in welcoming Narelle.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for having me back again this year. I really enjoyed last year. Just for my own interests, can I have a show of hands of how many people actually were here last year? Okay, a large percentage, which means Tennis Australia and our conference, we're on the right track, so we're getting people back. I'd like to build on some of the themes that I introduced in my presentation last year. Now, the topic I was allocated was developing motor skills and coordination in 6 to 9-year-olds. And for me, we can make it as complex or as simple as we like. For me, any work with kids in this particular age group is about physical literacy. So we send our kids to school so they learn to count, so they can write their name, so they know where Queensland is. But are we addressing the things in being able to run, jump, throw adequately? And I think if I'm looking from the top end down, perhaps in the last few years, we've missed a little bit. So the crux of my presentation today will be concentrating on some of those fundamental movement skills and some of the considerations that you might make when trying to teach them to young kids. I think the best way to learn is to see and to do. That's certainly, if I go to a conference, that's what I want to see from the people that are standing up, rather than just reading a script and running from the latest research. So I've got 4 fantastic physical specimens that are going to get out here and run around a little bit for me, which is great. But just to start off with, you've all got a handout, because we're going to have a PowerPoint presentation, but with logistics we've changed that around a little bit, and this is basically what we're going to work off. I was so grateful to hear Gil speak at the end of the last presentation about the need to bend your knees, because I think in every tennis player I've come across, both in the Tennis Australia Athlete Development Pathway and with the Lawn Tennis Association, who I worked with previously, that's one thing that every single athlete needed to work on, bending their knees. And if I think back to when I was a kid, you jump out of a tree and you learn to bend your knees, because if you don't bend your knees when you land from jumping out of a tree, you break your leg. Okay. Now, our kids don't tend to climb trees and jump out of trees. We're a little bit precious and protective of our kids sometimes because we don't want to cause any harm. But by the same token, I think it's been a disservice to our kids because they don't learn how to do these things that we just experienced or solved the problems ourselves when we were young. So bending the knees is a massive part of what we're going to do with the kids today. So with the motor skills, I've divided motor skills as a general concept into a few different categories. You'll see here on the 3rd box, we've got sending. Sending can be further broken down into throwing, striking and kicking. Then we have receiving. So obviously if you throw a ball, you need to catch it or collect it in some way. We've got accompanying skills where you learn to control a ball or an object, and probably it doesn't deserve to be at the bottom of the page, but locomotions. So learning how to skip, run and jump. Classic example, and I know some of the AIS players are actually here, so I better not pick on too many of them. But during Wimbledon this year, we did some sessions at the athletics track, and I actually took some photos of the athletes when they were running, and I asked them, what do you see when you look at this photo? And some of the boys, they don't mind looking at themselves. It was sunny in England for a change, so they had the shirts off, and obviously the observation was, well, my six-pack looks great, my tan needs a little bit of work. What I then pointed out was, why is it that when you're running, you're in this position? Right arm, right knee. Only Gumbies run right arm, right knee. That's completely wrong. So if that's how you're trying to run, I'm not sure that you're going to get anywhere particularly fast. And these are some of the best players in the country. So we've got to start really young at at improving these sorts of things. So if I can call you guys up here, I'm going to start with different bits of equipment and get the guys moving, basically, to begin with. Come out into the middle of the court. Whilst I'm getting them to do the activities, I'll explain which areas of motor skills we're developing. Let's put our tennis rackets with the handle facing the net, and we'll have Destiny here, Sam over here, Chase over in the corner here, and Cam just here. So you're going to put your tennis racket there, that's why, right in front of you. And all that we're going to do is come and stand to the right hand side. Can you put your right hand up in the air? That's it. You guys are smarter than lots of the AIS guys. Okay, all we're going to do is we're going to jump side to side. When you land, I don't want to hear any noise at all. Okay, so you don't have to go across the fat bit of the racket, just the skinny handle. Okay, and you're going to do 5 jumps either side. Now you guys, we might need to move you back a little bit here so you don't knock each other out. We've got a game that we can knock each other out later. We'll save that one for later. Exactly. All right, guys. We're going to go pretty slow to start with. All you're going to do is bend your knees, jump across, and land nice and soft. If anyone can hear these guys at the back, can you please put up your hand? We shouldn't hear any landing whatsoever. Okay, guys, jump across. That's it, and back. You're going to do that 10 times. Now, observing these guys move, we've got a bit of a mixed bag. It's very hard to absorb any force and have a good landing if your feet are close together. So if my feet are close, I can't really bend my hips and I can't get down low. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to try and get your feet as wide as my head. And I've got a pretty big head. You think so? Certainly. Exactly. That wide. Okay, 10 more jumps, guys. Off we go. See if you can get your bottom way down near the ground. Okay, as soon as we've given them the cue of getting their bottoms down near the ground, we're absorbing. So we're producing force jumping off the ground, and we're reducing force absorbing that load when we land. You guys are pretty good. We've gone side to side. We're going to do the same thing forwards and backwards. So let's look out at the beautiful Melbourne skyline. Same thing. Jumping forwards and sticking your bottom out the back and your chest up. Then the same thing backwards. 10 times. Okay, you need to have a look at the Melbourne skyline, Chase. So I want you to look out the window there. Trust that you're not going to stand on your racket and hurt yourself. All right. Stick your hand up, guys, if you think you could do that single leg. Yeah? Let's have a look. 5 times on our right leg. Hands on your hips. Off we go. Okay, when you've done your 5th, I want you to stand behind... Sorry guys, stand behind your racket, and I want you to try and do that again, some landing from your hops with a stiff leg. But when you jump forward and you land with your stiff leg, you've got to stop there. Okay, have a try, just one. Okay, who bent their knee when they landed? Yep, everyone did. If you actually move forward, and you try and land with a straight leg, you'll keep going forward. So it's really important, just like when we did our double leg jumps, that we sit down into the bottom position. Okay, let's try our left leg, making sure you sit down into it. Okay, off you go, 5 times. Now what I'd like you guys to be looking at is when they land, we need to pay attention to their feet, their knees and their hips, but also what their head and their shoulders are doing. Very important further on down the line with tennis players that we don't just address footwork, but we address what the shoulders and the head is doing at the same time. Guys, pick up your rackets. we haven't really introduced you to the crowd yet, so I'd like you to turn to the front. You're going to hold the racket at the neck, and we're going to wave to everyone. Hi everyone. You're going to say your name out loud, and you're going to say which tennis player you'd like to be when you grow up. Keep waving. Federer. Who would have thought? Who have we got next? Keep waving. Federer. Another one. Destiny, get this arm right out here. Don't be shy. Fantastic. Is your arm tired yet? No, mine is. Okay, let's swap to the other side. We've got to turn around while we're waving, because when we introduced ourselves, we didn't say g'day to these people. G'day is an Australian term. Cam, it's hello. Yeah, all good. Okay, racket's down. We're going to put a ball on the racket. Now, one of the motor skills we had on our list was accompanying. So what we're going to do is when I say go, you're going to pick up your racket, hold it in by your side like you're a pizza delivery man. And you've got to run around and cover as much of the tennis court as you can whilst the ball stays on your racket. Okay, we're going to do it for 15 seconds. Ready? And go. Pick up your racket. You've got to cover as much of the court as you can. You've got to look out for other people. That's the way. Get into every corner of the court. Another 5 seconds. 3, 2, and return to your position. Back where you started. Not bad, not bad. Pretty easy, huh? Chase, easy? Easy. Great. This time when you pick it up, you're going to hold the racket like this. You've got to hold it. No, you can use whatever hand you like, and you've got to hold it above your head, and you've got to do the same thing. Ready? And go. That's it. It's like this. Oh, be very careful, Cam. That's quite hard, isn't it, Sam? Really hard to bounce. Destiny, has your ball hit the ground yet? Straight arm. 3, 2, 1, and back to your start position, guys. Was that harder or easier? Easier. The ball hit the ground this time, didn't it? 12 times. Okay, and the first time, it didn't touch the ground at all. Once? If we hold it here, it's much easier to control. Yeah, no. So this time we're going to pick it up down here, and we're going to waddle like a duck and see how hard or easy that one is. 15 seconds, ready? Off we go. Boy, this is tough, isn't it? Don't let it come up past your knees. It's got to be way down here. Another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and stop. That one's pretty easy too, right? Not too bad. Okay, what we're going to do is you guys are going to pair up, and you guys are going to pair up. You're going to grab your racket, Destiny, and same with you, Cam. Chase and Sam, I want you to grab the tennis ball. So you guys don't need to hold a tennis ball yet. Now, if we've got really young kids, obviously going straight into learning to catch could be quite difficult. So to help them out, we're going to use a racket and we're going to catch on the racket. So the people with the tennis ball, you're going to throw it underarm, and when it comes in your direction, Cam, you've got to catch it with one hand and your racket. Okay, and then just roll it back to your partner. And you're going to do 5 catches before you swap over with your partner. Off we go. So if we increase the surface area that's out in front of them, the chances of them being successful is much greater. Now we've skipped a few steps with the actual throwing. I'll come back to that in a moment. So catch it on the racket face. Obviously you can take the thrower further away. You could throw the ball a little bit harder. I want you to catch it on the racket. So don't try and go for the hand and then close it off. Get it on here, that's the way. So you have to follow your eyes and watch the ball hit that target. No, we'll just be good here. Good stuff, fellas. I've got a different colour hat for everyone. We'll put the rackets down just for a moment. Now, if I was to try and catch a ball, Destiny, that was down below my hips, what way do you think my fingers would point? Would my fingers point out like this, or up, or down? Why would they point down? Yeah, you can't do that. You'd have to do the limbo, wouldn't you? That would make it really tough to catch. So your fingers have to point down. So what we're going to do in pairs is we're going to bounce the ball to our partner where the ball doesn't come up very high, and we're just going to catch it out in front of our body with 2 hands. Okay? 5 times each. Just move away from your rackets. That's the way, Cam. Good stuff. You lost your hat there, Sam. Remember here, you make a cup. Your thumbs are on the outside and they'll close off at the front. Good stuff. Alright guys, this time you'll do your catch on the full. So if I'm throwing to Destiny, I'm throwing to around her waist. Okay? 5 throws each. Now when kids first learn to throw, one of the first things that they'll do is they'll face directly onto the target. Okay, so their hips will be in the direction that they want the ball to go, and the easiest way for them to throw is to throw underarm. As they get more confident, they'll be side onto the target, be able to rotate and stay in balance. So knowing that they're the progressions of throwing that a child will do also helps us set the tone for where we need to pitch a particular exercise depending on the competency of the kids. Alright guys, this time, person with the ball, you're going to bounce it on the ground. Person at the other end, got to take their hat off and catch it in the hat. Okay? Then the ball will come back and you've got to catch it in your hat too. Would you like another one? Yeah? There we go. So we're all clear on what we're going to do? Bounce the ball, take our hat off, catch it in your hat. Off you go. Now hopefully at this level, the ball bounce is coming straight at them, so they won't need to move their feet too much. We'll do a drill in the not too distant future, practicing the kids getting behind an oncoming object, as you would ask them to get behind the tennis ball before they played a forehand or a backhand. Okay, let's grab a tennis ball each. Our hats are on our head. There we go. Okay, this time you're going to throw the ball up in the air and you're going to catch it in your hat. Okay, so you start with your hat on your head, you throw it up, take your hat off, catch it in your hat. We're going to see who can get 5 out of 5. A Mars bar maybe for anyone who can get 5. Could be a big payday for me, hey Destiny? Alright, let's go guys. Standing up nice and tall. I didn't count. That's what they all say. They all say didn't count. So if you can throw the ball straight up close to your body, it's much easier to catch, right? So we want our ball toss to be straight up rather than up here, so I have to run across the court. Nice. Okay, good. Here we go. 5 out of 5? 5 out of 6? 6. Okay. Alright, let's put the cones down on the ground. What we're going to do now, ever played soccer or football? Yep. We're going to put the tennis balls down. We're going to put our right foot on the tennis ball and our left hand out the front. And when I say go, we're going to jog on the spot, tickling the tennis ball with the bottom of our feet and using my arms like I'm running, okay, for 15 seconds. Ready? And go. There we go. We're supposed to stay on the spot here, Cam, huh? You are a tourist though, aren't you? You got to see as much of Melbourne as you can. Another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Bring your tennis balls down onto the service line here, guys. Now that was quite tough, wasn't it? Yeah. This time, we're going to try and move our tennis ball. Okay, we're taking the ball to the net. When you stop at the net, you can turn around and give it to this one, and then this one. Okay? Alright, off you go. Little steps, staying on the ball of your foot. Good job, turn around, arms up, pose down. Nice. Tennis ball back on the ground. Now we're going to do that backwards until we pass the service line. Ready, guys? Off you go. Use your arms. That's it, Destiny. Keep it nice and close. See if we can get a bit more than this going on. That's it, with your arms like this. Well done. Okay, let's take the balls over here for a moment and we'll grab a Swiss ball each. We're going to trade our Swiss balls and our rackets though, so if you can grab your racket and your hat and just put it on the side of the court and then come back with those big balls into the middle of the court, that would be great. Okay, we're all going to start in this top corner, forehand corner for the righties. And when I say go, Chase is going to dribble his Swiss ball along the tram line here, across to the middle of the court, to the net, to the sideline, back along the sideline to our starting position. Now when Chase gets to the service line here, Destiny, you're going to go. Okay, and Cam, when Destiny's at that point, you'll go. But you've got to keep the ball next to your body and you're just going to roll it. Not going to bounce it yet. Ready? Go. You can run if you like. The step up would be making this as a challenge for how fast can you do a particular course on the court. Again, we've got slightly older kids here, so 6-year-olds may really struggle with this one. This group probably not so much. Okay, good. Chase, same deal. This time I want you to bounce the ball. Okay? You've got to keep it right next to you. So if you're going along this line here and you want the ball on the line, where would you need to stand? Inside the court. You are a clever man. Alright, let's go. Off you go, Destiny. That's the way. Bouncing here, just with the one hand at this point in time. Good, Sam, get it going there. Not bad. Not bad. Fantastic. Bring the balls across here. We're going to have Sam standing here next to me, and Cam, you can stand right on the tee there. Now you guys can keep your balls. We'll roll these ones away. Destiny, you're going to come and stand on the tram line. Same with you, Chase. Come over here so you're facing Sam. Jump over this way. Okay, what we're going to do here is we get a chance to be sumo wrestlers. Does anyone know what a sumo wrestler looks like? What do they look like? Fat people that fight. Yes, that's pretty close. Okay, they also stand like this. So we're going to have our elbows on our knees for Destiny and Chase, and your feet wide apart. Now these guys are going to roll the Swiss ball, and it might not be straight, could be a little bit to the side, and when it comes over towards you, I want you to get your whole body behind it, jump on it, That's what you have to say, because that's what sumo wrestlers do. Okay? So we're just using the one ball here. You guys have to roll it to one another. So look up, Chase. You need to see where it's coming. Okay, whenever you're ready, you roll it, not too fast, and you're going to do the hurrah. I didn't hear the hurrah. Okay, we're going to do 5 each. Now this is quite fun, but also if you don't get your body behind the ball, you will have an unfortunate accident which will probably result in carpet burn. There was one there. Okay, you don't need to jump over the top, you need to get behind it. And as soon as you know you want to pounce on the ball, of course we adopt a more athletic body position as well. Okay, I quite enjoyed that. Was that good fun? Yes? Okay. Grab a ball there. What we're going to do, I used to have one of these at home for when I was watching TV. Green is obviously his colour. Can I borrow your ball for a moment, Sam? We're going to kneel behind the ball, just like we're watching TV. What we're going to do is walk out with our hands and high five the person on the other side. Then come back, sit back, wait for them to be ready, and then roll in again. Another high five. 5 high fives. And you can pick whatever hand you want to high five with. Okay, off we go. And again, before I talked about when I was a kid, jumping out of trees and off fences and all sorts of things where you learn to problem solve yourself and you get to know what works and what doesn't work. I like exercises like this with the guys because they work out very quickly what works and what doesn't. They'll either stay on the ball or they won't. And the consequence of them falling off on an exercise like this isn't too drastic. Nice work, you guys. You're a well-drilled team, you two. Okay, stop where you are, guys. Back here, Cam. Okay, now this time, we'll start with you, Cam, because you're a little bit of an international hot shot, I think. You're going to put your shoulders on the ball, like this, and when I say go, I want you to flip around as fast as you can, so you look like you're skydiving out of an aeroplane, but your hands aren't allowed to touch the ball, okay? Let's have a look. Ready? And flip over fast. Oh, nearly got there. Okay, not allowed to touch, so keep trying. Same with you here, Sam. Destiny, Chase, you're going to have your shoulders on the ball with your hips up nice and high. You're going to pick a time, maybe when I clap, and you're going to spin around and try and be skydiving on that ball. Ready? Go. Wow, Sam. You've been skydiving before, huh? That was excellent. Do you want to show everyone how you do that again? Okay. Everyone check out Sam. That's it. Hips up nice and high. Ready? Go. Hey, there. We nearly got it. But the speed at which Sam moved gave him every chance of being successful on this exercise. Off we go, guys. Have another couple of goes. Ready? Go. Well done, Chase. Got it. 2 more goes. Ready? Go. Hey, we got a whole bunch of experts. Last one, and I want 100% record. So 4 from 4. Ready? Ready? Hips up. Go. Got a little bit too excited there, I think. Okay, let's sit on the balls. We probably need to rest after all of that. Tennis racket in the hand. Now what I might get you guys to do, let's roll down here, Destiny, a little bit, and Cam. Down here so you're facing Destiny. And whilst you're sitting on the ball, I'd like you guys to have a rally. So the people that are over on the tram line there, the singles tram, you guys are going to serve the ball. Whilst you're sitting on it, you're going to serve it. Cam, you're going to guess whether it's gone to your forehand or your backhand, but we're going to play a point where your feet must stay on the ground, okay? Yeah, you're taking it a bit too fast. Now we're going to slow this one down a little bit. So, Chase, you're going to pretend like you've got your serve going, and I want to see what kind of return we get here from Sam. You can start too, Destiny. Ready? Off you go. We're going to have another 3 seconds of this rally. Oh, I like that variation there. Okay, and stop. Now, Sam, did you do forehand, 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 forehand because you like doing forehands, or that you looked at Chase and you thought, oh, he's going cross-court every single time? He did. And how do you know that he's going cross-court? What do you see his body doing? Oh, he's doing this. Very good. Now, you used some variation there. Is that because you imagine that Destiny wasn't very good at coming into the drop shot? She doesn't look like much of an athlete, does she? Yeah, she does. You have to use that variation to outwit Destiny because she's very sharp. Okay, one more point, and I want you to have a think about where your shots are going this time. Yeah? Okay. Off you go, Destiny. Serve and chase. Sit up nice and tall, Sam. 3 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we'll only do this one for a short period of time, but Sam had the right idea before. I'd like you to sit on the ball now without your feet touching the ground. Now, Sam's smart. He's worked it out already. If you put your legs, dig them into the ball, it'll help you stay on it. The other thing is if your bum's tucked under like this and you're all slumped, it's very hard to stay on the ball because see how this is all round? If you put something round on something round, what's going to happen, Cam? Fall off, that's right. So you need to be square and the ball is round. Now we're going to play a point where we don't put our feet on the ground. Okay, off we go. Chase, you're going to have a black eye at the end of this one, aren't you? Hey? Another 3 seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, guys, chuck the balls over here. Okay, and Racket's just on the ground over here. Now we're going to have Destiny and Sam on the baseline. And Cam and Chase. I have Cam over here and Chase facing Destiny. Now we've already done catching where it was low. This time we're going to catch where it's up a little bit higher. If it's high, if it's above your waist, where will your fingers point? Up. And if we really want to be good at catching, it's important to get your whole body behind the ball like you did with the sumo. Yeah? So you're not going to wait for the ball to come and then dive on the tennis ball, but you certainly want to get your body behind it. We're going to catch it with 2 hands. Throw it underarm, but catch with 2 hands. Okay, we're going to go 5 turns each. That's it. Good stuff. Give it a bit of height on your throw. Now when we've done 5, that was excellent, Sam, well done. When we've done 5, I want you to try and catch it with 1 hand. Okay, now you need to watch the ball, come into your hand, close your fingers around it. Now we talked about trapping the ball as another skill. Now obviously, like we did with the Swiss balls where we bounced them and we rolled them around the court, you could do the same first with a Swiss ball, then with a soccer or a volleyball, and then move to a tennis ball. So same thing here. What I'm going to get you guys to hold the balls nice and still. Anyone seen lawn bowls? Yeah? Probably great grandma probably plays lawn bowls. You're going to step forward and you're going to roll the ball. And the person at the other end is going to wait for it to come, get their body behind it, and then close their toes on the top to trap it. Then you're going to pick it up and you're going to roll it back. Okay, so we're going to get the ball underneath our foot, not by this, like you're killing ants, but by getting into the right position, watch it come, then put your foot on top. Okay, off we go. So track the ball, that's it, get your feet into the right position, and then close the lid when you need to. And so we could go for trapping with our foot, and then same with sending as kicking drills. And again, with the Swiss ball, with the soccer ball, with the tennis ball. Okay guys, hold the ball still. One of the little topics on my motor skill development chart was collecting. So I'd like you 4 guys to be at the net for me. On this side of the net, that's the way. Okay, and we're going to do some collecting. When I dump these balls all over the court, you guys have got to chase them. You need to give me that one. Okay, you're going to collect them, and whoever has the most at the end is the champion. If you haven't got pockets, you have to stick them under your arm, find a way to carry them. Okay? Everyone got the idea? Ready? Go. Inventive. We've got a kangaroo pouch over here. Now you're going to count them as you put them into the box or into the bin. Hey. Over here. How many you got, Chase? Where is that one hiding, huh? There's 10. I didn't even think I had this many in this box to start with, huh? Okay, in they go. 8. And Destiny? 10. Okay, good. It was a draw. Everyone won. Hey, aren't we great? Okay, everyone's going to be down here on their knees, because at the end of a session, if you finish your tennis session or a fitness session, it's very important to have a little bit of a stretch, okay? But before we have a stretch, I think we might also play a game. I call this one spider tag, okay? Yeah, that one will be fine. For spider tag, we're going to sit on our bottoms, and we're going to put our hands behind our body. Yeah, you've got to lift your bottom up, because if you have your bottom on the ground, you're not going to move very fast. Okay, now when I say go, we're going to walk around the court, and I'm going to try and stomp on as many feet as I can. Now you're not allowed to lift your foot up and do a big scissor kick, okay? The idea is that you're really, really fast and that you get out of the way. So you support your body weight and get out of the way and then try and attack someone. Okay, ready? 30 seconds. Off we go. Now you can't win if you don't score, so don't run away. Move fast, bums on the ground aren't good. Bums on the ground aren't good. Come on, up. Run away, Destiny, let them fight. Hey, come on. Gotta use those hands. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, now, I think we took the rules and we made them our own a little bit there. A few times, yeah. And normally with the older kids, I'd say that's your fault for not getting out of the way. But I feel a bit sorry for you, Cam. Alright, this time, whilst we're down here, we might as well have a good stretch. So we're going to start in the same position. And you're going to lift your hips up and put your head right back. I call this a table stretch. Okay, both feet on the ground, head right back, and you should be a table. If I put my glass of orange juice on your chest or on your legs, it shouldn't slide into the middle. Not right with me now. Now, if I was to notice that there was a dip in the middle of this stretch, okay, hips down guys, just have a little rest, it might indicate tight hip flexors or tight pecs. And if kids, regardless of age, are hitting a lot of tennis balls, those two things are very, very common. So by something that's fun, a table stretch while we're on the ground, we might learn something about these kids that we can also help them with to enable them to get into good body positions. Because as we start our sport at a very young age, we already get stiffness, tightness in certain areas that may prevent kids from getting into the correct positions. And as I said last year, one of those is particularly with the jumps and the landings, as Gil was talking about. If you've got really tight calves, you won't be able to get into a low squat position. If your tight calves prevent you from getting your knees forward, then you have to put your bum out the back. And as you can see there, that's not an ideal position. You need knees forward as well as bum out the back if we're going to get into low positions, but then we can be explosive on a tennis court. So we can start looking at how people move from a young age, help them out with stretches, but also get them doing these exercises for dynamic flexibility and incorporate it into some of these things, like the sumo jump. All right, guys, thank you for your assistance. If you'd like to jump over to the side there, hopefully that's just a few ideas that you can take home and implement into your programs in your own centres. I'm very conscious of the fact that you want to walk away with something that you're able to do that doesn't require fancy equipment, nothing like that. Hopefully a Swiss ball and a tennis ball and a racket, they're things that you might have around your centre. So I'll open the floor to questions, knowing that I'm already eating into your lunch. Anyone got any questions? Yeah, I think that's very true, that we need to incorporate this into our school programs, have stronger links with community tennis. Just as a short story, because, Gil was the classic storyteller, so I don't want to try and even challenge him in that department, but when I was working in the UK, I worked with a tennis player who was 10 years old and playing 28 hours of tennis a week. She could hit a good forehand and a half-decent volley, but she couldn't catch a basketball on the bounce. And what I said to her father was, please don't take this the wrong way, and it's hard not to take it the wrong way, but your daughter is a cardboard cutout of a tennis player. She is so one-dimensional, it's ridiculous. And ultimately, this will affect how far she will progress in her tennis because she doesn't have basic coordination. So part of her program that I set was to reduce her training by half, but incorporate more things like kicking soccer balls, dribbling basketballs, one-on-one, those sorts of things. They're fun for a start, and that basic coordination and motor skill development is paramount to a long career for a tennis player, I think. Very good question. The question was how much stress is placed on the knees in activities like this. And I would say because of the low amplitude, we're not jumping up on massive heights, and we're certainly, most of the stuff I would do would be double leg with these guys. I would say we would be nowhere near as the stresses that they experience on a tennis court. You think about landing from a serve. Here, bang, one leg, then trying to push back. That is extremely stressful. We recently did some studies at the Australian Institute of Sport looking at the forces on the body in some general tennis movements. And out wide to the forehand and just the change of direction was the equivalent to 2 times body weight of stress going through the lower limbs. On the landing of a serve, it was 3.5 times body weight, and landing from a jump smash was nearly 13 times their body weight of stress. The way I approach this is I say, if that's what we're asking these kids to do in large volumes, then it's nearly criminal for us not to start addressing it very early with our kids, because some low stresses on their body will actually make their bones stronger.
One last question, Ken.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think that's certainly the way that I try and approach it here. Is I wouldn't anticipate that any of these kids would, if they were 6 to 9 year olds, are going to do separate physical sessions. So what can we incorporate into the warm-ups, or when we need to collect all the balls and have a little break in our session, that will actually advance their physical status even just a little bit? Because if we do that, 5 times a week for 10 minutes, that's a long way further down the track than we're currently at. So that's money in the bank as far as I'm concerned. But you're right, as tennis coaches, I think we need to start picking up a little bit of that slack, because it's not getting done at schools.
Right, we won't take any more questions because we're eating into lunch. Please join me in thanking Narelle for a fabulous presentation there. I think it was great to see how Narelle's taken the knowledge and experiences she's had with not just 6 to 9 year olds but elite players, and being able to transfer that back to the age group that many of us are working with.
I think it's probably worth telling people that drills like this, the Swiss ball drill of catching the ball, I'm doing that with Sam Stoser in our off-season preparation. It's not just funky tricks that you do with 6-year-olds. Basic coordination drills, they're applicable to kids regardless of their age, but why not start it sooner rather than later?